What's good, family? All our frequency beings, thanks for tapping in. This is a video to elaborate a short video I made on TikTok about when we are in the astral and we come to this dimension to go to work pretty much, right? And I was saying how when we come to this dimension, coming to this dimension in itself and incarnating here and leaving the astral realm is in itself our job already to fulfill our soul mission, right? And what I actually mean is like I know the term work can be a bit misleading. So what I actually mean is like we come here to help raise the frequency with this ascension process, right? That's our soul mission. Whether it be working in the arts, the fine arts like drawing, making cartoon type videos, to help, all in all, to help wake people up and raise their frequency, or whether it be making uplifting music, whether it be, being out here in the field, talking to people, or being a therapist, things like this are quote unquote jobs that I refer to as incarnating here in this dimension with higher frequencies to help this ascension process and this conscious plane continue to elevate amidst all the nefarious tactics and malevolent beings that are also here trying to work in opposition, right? And as far as like, having a job here to distract us from our true job, incarnating here in this dimension and fulfilling our soul mission, would just be like your typical everyday jobs, like um, engineering. Like that's what I did. As good as it sounds, I was getting these clairvoyant messages in my head, like this ain't it. But engineering, um, working in offices, filing papers or answering phones, working at hourly jobs. We go into a lot of hourly jobs and the people standing around. Like even when I was an engineer, I would go down where the trades would be at and they would be standing around waiting for direction. Just a complete waste of time, unfulfilling, unsatisfying. You know what I mean? That would be a third dimensional job that would be a distraction. Rather, like I said, your soul mission, which will fulfill you and also help provide everything you need, are also empowering you, being in a good state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like something that will be helping people or helping raise the frequency, you know? And, that's just basically, what I was referring to in that sense of things. And not to be confused, thinking like, oh man, so I gotta leave the astral plane and then come here and do some more work. You know, it's not discouraging like that because your work here is something that fulfills you and satisfies you. You feel me? And it also helps you make money. And you know, as nefarious as money can be, it's really just an exchange of energy for a service, whether it be paying quote unquote attention or bartering goods so you don't have to use money, because money was a way that they harnessed energy and involved their energy in our transactions, be that they controlled it. And with that being in mind, since money originated, no matter who was controlling it, you see that word control, it was a way of controlling the energy and being involved in it, making it a necessity to exchange something for a service, rather just bartering and exchanging your own energy and goods. Like one might be a crystal maker, one might be a farmer, one might give them orgone energy to help their crops, as that is a proven fact, but to help their crops. And they might give them crops in exchange, you know what I'm saying? For that or orgone energy device to help their crops. You know what I'm saying? Now that's how things originally was before we started using money. But not to be misconfused with the way things are right now. Money is still just a simple exchange of energy for a service, and that service being something you do, coming here, incarnating to do a job and fulfill your soul mission, as everything is to be provided for you, right? So, you know, Pretty much, you know what I mean? That's what that means, because when you get on TikTok and you speak, you're confined to 10 minutes. That's why I made this YouTube, so I could come here and elaborate sometime. Cause some people they don't get confused, but some people are a little more literal and they go a little more deeper. And that's okay. That's actually a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That they dissect things like that. Because somewhere along the line, they will start dissecting malevolent and nefarious things in a sense where they can further explain it in simpler terms. So that's not a bad thing either. And I mentioned that in the astral planes, it's pretty much a replica of this dimension as we know, to keep us in this quote unquote illusion, right? And that's why when we in the astral, or we quote unquote dreaming, a lot of things that we encounter and we see, we can recall here in this physical dimension, and it looks similar because the astral is purposely replicated to be a copy of this things here in this physical dimension. And when I speak of this part of the astral being replicated, the astral is a large, vast space, and there's many levels, as many dimensions to the astral, like we know, many dimensions. So I will speak when I speak of this part of the astral being replicated. This is the part that was quote unquote hacked, and this is a lower level dimension of the astral realm, very close to like what we call the here now, as one can astral travel in this dimension as well. And this would just be like even somewhat of a sub dimension of this dimension, meaning it's very similar and very close. Like waking up now, because you can travel to higher dimensions, being how melanated you are, how conscious and awakened you are, and how much power you harness etherically to be able to ascend to these higher levels in the astral realm. So what they've done is they've created this illusion and this copycat of this realm in a lower realm, a lower level of the astral realm. Meaning, like, before you get to the higher dimensions and higher levels in the astral realm, um, this particular illusion and replica of this physical dimension, you would pass through this part before you get to those higher dimensions. And this was done for many reasons, right? Because, like I said in the video on my TikTok, the Saturn Moon Matrix, the reincarnation setup, it's pretty much done with. It's no more. You know what I mean? That's why, like, you might have close ones that have recently passed away, and you see them in the astral realm, this lower level, like wandering around trying to figure out what the hell is going on. That's because they trapped in the second part of this illusion in the lower level of the astral realm, right? Where these archons, like I said, I'm gonna make a video about that too, about what these quote unquote archons actually are. That terraformed and created this part of the astral to look much like this dimension. And the same way they say that we create scenes in the astral realm in a sense, in another way, we also happen to do that mistakenly because we so used to this dimension, and our memory and our DEA is being restored day by day with the photon energy coming in, where we will be able to recall these higher dimensions and we will return there. But not to say it can't be done now either, but it's just a little more difficult because we can't recall it. So being that we're here in this dimension, we've been here for so long and we've seen it for so long, and they replicated it in these lower levels of the astral realm, we're more prone to hang around in these areas, much like past souls have, and we see them there lost a lot. But like I said, with this ascension process, it's more so empowering us etherically, like I said in another video, whereas we're becoming more awakened and conscious in the astral realm, where it's also battles going on there in these lower levels of the astral realm, where they do many things. They do many illegal things universally to try to keep us there, because you gotta realize they're at a point now where it's do or die for them. You know what I mean? They already know this shit over. They already know, it's not much they can do, and they really just buying time. The inevitable is imminent, and they just buying time And a way that they pretty much try to keep us out of the higher dimensions until the big EMP happened, as I described. This EMP is really just going to be an overload of this multi-dimensional transformer that works as a filter that we know as the sun, that filters this photon light coming from the true black sun. And once that happens, the astral realm will be wide open again. We'll be all throughout, like we always have been, as well as returning back to this dimension with that knowledge. That's what they fear the most, and that's why they do these things in the astral realm to keep us in a state of oblivion and keep us oblivious of the higher dimensions and higher knowledge. But we always will, and we always still attain this knowledge, whether we do it consciously or not. In the astral realm, we are multi-dimensional beings. That's why you meditate to tap into this knowledge that you still get unconsciously as this photon light enters the realm and as we travel multi-dimensionally, subconsciously in the astral realm. You feel me? Stay with me, right? Stay with me now. But uh someone mentioned to me about about there being different planes and waters above the firmament, below the firmament, and outer space and stuff like that. Now we can physically travel beyond the ice walls and stuff on this realm of Atlantis. There is much to be discovered, but um they can't break out of this firmament because they're just spirits. You know what I mean? They don't have souls, like I was saying. Uh, neurologically melanated. Okay, look, I'm gonna just say this: they don't have enough neuromelanin. Pretty much, I'm gonna just keep it simple. They don't have enough neuromelanin to access these higher realms and dimensions because they don't have a soul. So, in light of that, they want to break the firmament to try to get there. You know what I mean? But these higher realms that people speak of and know about beyond this quote unquote outer space, that's through water in this dimension and beyond the ice walls. It's only done etherically and with the astral body. Just like, we incarnated here and the only way to get here is through incarnation and spiritually or etherically, that's how you get to other dimensions as far as within firmaments and stuff like that and beyond waters above our firmament. It's only done etherically and astrally, right? And these nefarious beings, they only have spirits. You feel me? And they can only travel but so far. Like they had even the evil ETs. I'm gonna make a video about that infiltrated this realm. And another popular spiritualist said, master teacher said, um, they had to master interstellar travel to get here because they don't have souls to travel. But so far, I mean, like if you don't have a soul, you kind of don't have a Merkaba, to go far, far and beyond. So they mastered interstellar travel and came here, and they hacked this room at a point where it was still being created, which made it easier for them to get here because things wasn't closed off. It was still being terraformed and created in a sense to be completed. And they knew about it, whether they heard about it or they was watching from afar, or they had scouters, monitoring what was going on in the cosmos. They was able to get here before it was completed to infiltrate it and pretty much, invade it. And things went along and they were completed and everything was shut off. Now they trapped here, and they thought they would be able to come here and come back in time during this point before things was completed to invade this room and and pretty much stop things from being completed, whereas they will be able to complete it and keep it for themselves. You feel me? Instead and use for malevolent purposes instead of the way things are ascending now. And like this process of ascension is really just complete in this room. for its true use. One second, I got an alarm going off. Hold up. Okay, I didn't want to get too deep into this because it's pretty much spilling over information that was going to be in this big presentation I'm doing, but I could still do it. But yeah, like I was saying, they invaded this room before it was completed in hopes that they could complete it malevolently and keep it to have somewhere and to still be able to be here in the future and to not end up in the situation that they are and that they have been in the future. And, I'll just say archons for now, but I'll get into specifically who they are in my presentation. But so they got here, like I said, through interstellar travel, and they were able to break in because things wasn't completed. It's like, let's say like a store is being built, right? Or some apartments being built, right? And while the construction workers working on these apartments, right? It ain't no locks on the doors, there's no people in there, the windows is open. Cause they going in and out, now they got like little construction signs up, asking people do not to enter, but they unable to lock it up and stop people from entering in because they still building it. And, a group of people like was like, man, shit, we can finish them, you know what I'm saying? Like we can break it, we can just walk past them gates and get in them apartments and finish building them and then lock them out so they can't come build it for what they need to use it for. We can just go ahead and finish that up and lock them out. That's what they tried to do on this plane. They came back here at an earlier point in time, like I said, through interstellar travel, and they tried to lock benevolent beings out. So they were successful to some extent, but they didn't know that things would still be completed one way or another, regardless of what they was gonna come here and do. So now what they realize is like, oh shit, um, we can't get out. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't lock this shit up somehow. And we thought we had it because we didn't had it for all this time and we've been doing all this stuff. We broke all these laws. Like I said, they broke down the barriers, the do not enter barriers. They came in while construction was being done and just stole the shit. You know what I'm saying? And the people that was here, they erased their memories. Like, they could put these souls in this loop and they were, we was trapped, we couldn't get out. And now construction has completed itself with this solar maximum that's approaching. Construction is almost completed. You feel me? And they realize like, damn, we can't leave. Like, cause it's outer locks on now, firmament. We can't get out. And when they finish, they gonna reach their original form. Like they was supposed to. Like like I said, like they already know because like I said, they went through this process, not invading and stealing it, but they went through this process and they turned out to be nothing pretty much. These archons, they suffer really bad throughout this process. And they thought they would come back at an earlier point in time, like I said, and invade it and stop it, but they actually sped it up this time. They made things worse. They made us more powerful because they was doing all these things to us, like I said, to keep us in these loops, to keep us in a lower state of consciousness. And what actually happened is we evolved more. Instead of just going through our regular process of evolution and ascending as we, build things up in this realm and our DEA being restored as we completed this realm, energetically and etherically. Now we went through a whole extra process that empowered us even more. Like we like 100, 500 times stronger than we should have been. Like when this ascension process and this solar maximum and this EMP hit and we activate, we're gonna be like 100 times stronger what we originally was during this process before they came back and hacked everything and did all this before it was complete. Because you gotta look at it like, I'm gonna go back to this physical construction analogy. You gotta look at this like, so if these people were like, half of these people got trapped here when they came in and they broke past the do not enter signs, and it was like, y'all belong to us now. And they was working and working, and they had to work longer, and they had to work harder under these conditions to complete this process. I mean, shit. If you work longer and harder, you're gonna get stronger. You know what I'm saying? Throughout all of that, your muscles, your muscles gonna get stronger. You feel me? Your mind gonna be way more evolved and equipped because you had to go through more adversity to complete this construction process, to finish building everything. You ain't just build it and under good terms and good circumstances. You went through adversity while you was building it. So now satisfaction and the finish line is gonna be that much more sweet and savoring it throughout this whole process. And you gonna be that much more like satisfied and relieved once you complete it. So you're gonna be on a whole other level than you would have been under normal circumstances. And that's what they've come to realize, like, damn, we did all this and we made them stronger. And they in for a real ass whooping, man. They in for a real ass whooping. Like, it's gonna be ugly in a good way for us. It's gonna be ugly, man, because like I said, we 100 times stronger. So, just to elaborate and touch down on a little bit of things, because I'm working on this excerpt. Like I like to write stuff down. Like if you go to my TikTok, a lot of my presentations, they they done in a format where I'm reading from an excerpt where I wrote off the top of my mental from things I've obtained clairvoyantly and then the astral, and a little bit of reading here and there, but not to conform or distort, my divine knowledge. I only read but so much, and where I'm clairvoyantly guided to read. So I like to write things down because, like I said, they use this filter of photon light through the sun to walk amongst us unseen, and what they do is they tamper with your bioelectric, electromagnetic, and auric fields to confuse you and give you short-term memory loss when you're trying to convey things, because they don't want this stuff being told, man. Because when I get up here and talk, isn't this? I don't just do this to be like, oh, look how much he knows, or dang, he really tapped in. No, no, by me conveying this knowledge to you, it's tapping you into your own divine knowledge, your own divine energies. It's empowering you, like, just as much, even more so than I'm getting out of it. But to keep it real with y'all, I asked, I asked for this energy. I asked them to empower me, to give me this divine knowledge, not for myself, but for y'all. So I can spread the knowledge, the information, the energies, and the messages, right? That's why any true master teacher that comes here, you know, that's their purpose. You don't get on no pedestal and say, y'all motherfuckers gonna worship me if y'all want this knowledge. So y'all gonna kiss my ass, or y'all gonna worship me if y'all want me to tell y'all. No, that's not how it works. That's why a lot of them go down the drain. A lot of them get thrown by the wayside, and they end up in the circumstances they end up in. They do it to themselves, because when you get divine knowledge, it's not for you to use for monetary benefits. It's not for you to use for physical praise or nothing like that. It's for you to empower and help others tap into their own divine knowledge and essence. Because we all pieces of the puzzle, you know what I'm saying, that's being put together right now. So, besides all that, stay up, stay dangerous, stay focused, stay fearless, stay tapped in, guard your frequency, don't react, don't be provoked, meaning don't react malevolently to malevolent attacks. You know what I mean? It's a song Wailing Souls sing. It's called Jaja. They say, return the compliments, meaning really attacks. They refer to them as compliments. But return the compliments with uprightness. Return the compliments with uprightness. That's how it go. That's how the loop go. So return the compliments with uprightness. Don't be provoked and don't react. One love. Ashe.